Today we're diving into a really fascinating perspective coming out of Pakistan. It suggests a huge, fundamental shift in the country's foreign and defense policy. Seriously, some analysts are calling this a completely new playbook.
So let's start with a big question. What do you do when your biggest rival is getting stronger and at the same time, the allies you've counted on for decades just look away? Well, it's a question that can force a country to rethink absolutely everything.
To really get this new strategy, you first have to understand the pressures that created it. According to the analysis we're looking at, a series of recent events left Pakistan feeling, well, strategically cornered.
Just look at the pressure points here. First, you've got your main rival gaining strength. But then, and this is a big one, you get this sense of betrayal. The analysis claims that during a recent conflict, key Gulf partners like the UAE and Qatar didn't just stay neutral, they actually sided with the other guy. It goes even further, alleging the UAE was backing anti-Pakistan groups and is a major partner in this new economic corridor, IMEC, that seems designed to just bypass Pakistan entirely. So, what happens when old friends seem to turn their backs? Well, you start looking for new ones. This shift apparently pushed Pakistan to build new relationships, reaching out to countries like Turkey, Libya, Sudan, and Jordan. And this is so important because it's not just about swapping one partner for another. It's about potentially building a whole new sphere of influence, one that's way less tangled up with its primary rival. All right, so with all this diplomatic shuffling going on, how does Pakistan project strength? Well, according to our sources, the answer starts in the sky. Let's dig into the military doctrine that's fueling all this new confidence, specifically inside the Pakistan Air Force. You know, the whole strategy of the Pakistan Air Force, or PATH, starts with a really stark admission. We will always be outnumbered. So instead of trying to match their rival plane for plane, the whole doctrine is built on three pillars to make up for it. Number one, an obsession with superior training. Number two, a powerful faith-driven morale. And number three, a constant chase for that technological edge that can act as a force multiplier.
And this isn't just talk. The sources point to a long history of the PATH punching way above its weight. Just look at this timeline. Back in the 60s and 70s, volunteer pilots reportedly shot down 5 Israeli jets, a feat no other Air Force can claim. Then in the 80s, in a crazy high-stakes standoff, they scrambled their entire fleet and successfully deterred a potential strike on their nuclear program. More recently, you've got the famous 2019 incident where they downed an Indian jet, and even a claimed 2025 strike on a high-tech S-400 missile system from almost 200 kilometers out.
And this quote from a retired Air Commodore just sums it all up perfectly. He basically asks, if a cricket superstar uses my bat to score a century, who gets the credit, him or the bat? His point is that the skill of the player, the pilot, is what truly matters, not just the fancy hardware.
Now, this entire philosophy leads to something our source calls a multi-domain operation, a concept the PAF reportedly came up with. The best way to think about it is like turning warfare into a perfectly synchronized orchestra. Every single piece, the pilot, the ground radar, the cyber commands, satellites, you name it, is all networked together into one seamless kill picture. It gives them this incredible speed and precision to find and take out threats. It's all about total information awareness. Okay, so we've got this renewed military confidence, right? So let's see how that confidence is now being used to completely rewrite the rules of some of its oldest friendships on the diplomatic front. So according to this analysis, Pakistan's response to the UAE's alleged actions was incredibly direct. The leadership apparently started by just declining invitations to visit. Then they sent a special delegation with a very clear mission: show the UAE the evidence they had of its alleged support for anti-Pakistan groups, and then deliver an ultimatum. The message was blunt: stop, or we will change our entire relationship.
This whole diplomatic showdown apparently kept escalating until the president of the UAE himself arranged what was described as a visit to Pakistan on an emergency basis. Now, the source material frames this not as a friendly chat between allies, but as a direct result of Pakistan's new hardline stance, basically a damage control mission to stop the relationship from completely falling apart.
So what do you get when you mix this powerful military confidence with a much more assertive, independent foreign policy? Well, you get the blueprint for what looks like a whole new national doctrine. So here's the bottom line. It's this emerging two-pronged strategy. On the military side, you have a deep commitment to what's called an asymmetric deterrent. That just means you're not trying to match your opponent tank for tank, but instead you use superior skill and technology to get the upper hand. And then on the diplomatic side, you have this pivot to a really unapologetic, independent foreign policy, where national interests come first, way ahead of old loyalties to allies who now seem unreliable. The picture these sources paint is of a nation that felt backed into a corner and decided to fight its way out by writing a new set of rules. It's a huge gamble, a high-stakes strategy of self-reliance that could really reshape the entire region. But the ultimate question is still out there. Will this bold new playbook actually work and secure Pakistan's interests, or could it backfire and lead to even greater isolation? That's the answer the world is waiting to see.